everyone, this is Maren, and you're listening to Homeschool Unrefined, the podcast where we keep homeschool simple, real, and fun.
And this is Angela. You've got episode 90, where we September check-in. We are going to talk about that in a few minutes, but first we wanted to say hello to everybody. Hi to all of our listeners. It's so nice to be here again with you. We are so happy to be doing this every week. And we just want to say a special hello to our Patreon supporters. If you are interested in becoming a Patreon supporter, you can go to patreon.com/homeschoolunrefined.
Yes.
Before we get started, we have a few new listeners, and so we just wanted to explain our podcast just a little bit, just give you a little 1 minute spiel about what we're about.
Yeah.
So Maren and I have been recording this podcast every week for almost 2 years now. We love doing it. Super exciting.
We do. I look forward to it every week.
I know. So one of our goals is to change the conversation about homeschool and make it less about all the things that you need to do, all the things that you need to add to your plate, and more about what can we take off of our plate and highlighting the things that you're already doing really well.
Yes.
Rather than making you feel like you need to do more.
Right. And we're here to help you feel good about what you're already doing.
Yep.
Which means you're probably going to start thinking differently about homeschool.
Yes.
It's going to be, like Angela said, less about what you have to do and more about maybe what you get to do.
Yeah.
Together as a family.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Maren, you've had kind of an exciting week in your house.
Kind of a big week.
Kind of a big week.
Not the kind of big week you want to have necessarily, but
so what's going on?
So, oh my goodness. we've had an appliance implosion, let's just say. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it, but I mean, so all of our appliances are falling apart and I feel we're dealing with it.
I feel like you just got them. I know
we just moved into this house less than 3 years ago. And everything's new since then.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's, okay, so let me just tell you. The first thing that happened was one weekend, our kids were at grandparents', which was so exciting. Sean and I had the whole house to ourselves all weekend. He woke up early I think it was a Saturday morning, woke up and decided to make bacon for us, which was, I was so excited. We were like, no kids, bacon and coffee all morning. It's going to be so great.
Yeah.
So he saw this tray, just sitting out in our kitchen, and it was a gray tray. It looked just like our cooking trays, metal cooking trays. He's like, well, it's not metal, but I feel like Maren would have, here's me, I'm sleeping. I don't know what's going on. He's thinking Maren probably got some kind of new technology, because I like to.
They're always making new cookware.
They're always making new cookware. I like new stuff that a new kind of technology. I like those kind of things. So he knows that about me, and he's like, I bet Maren got this, and it's so cool. So he put bacon on this plastic tray. It was actually a plastic tray from IKEA that we use for art projects and stuff.
Wait, did it have handles?
No.
Okay.
No handles.
I'm picturing a tray with handles.
It looked so much like a metal cookie sheet. It looked exactly like that, except plastic.
Okay, you cannot be the first one to make this mistake.
No. In fact, when I bought those trays, I was like, this is almost too similar, but I'm just going to risk it. So anyway, he put it in the oven because we always bake our, you need to bake your bacon.
Bake the bacon.
Bake the bacon.
Definitely.
You need it. If you do not do that, DM me.
To start.
Yeah. I will help you get started, but you have to do that. So anyway, he put it in the oven. And he went and started working on his computer and stuff. And a few minutes later, our house was filled with smoke. All of our fire alarms were going off. Our security company was calling us, and we were opening up all the windows, and it was just like a chaotic mess. So anyway, the plastic had like dripped down through the tray, that was in there, through the grates into, this part of the oven you can't even reach. Like you can't even get in there. You cannot get in there. So we chiseled away as much as we could from what we could, and then we even tried to like turn the oven back on and melt it a little so we could get it out, and it was not working. And we finally called somebody, and they came out and said, yeah, your oven is gone. It's over. It's over.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Yeah, he said as soon as anything like that drips onto the burners underneath, it's just not worth. I mean, it's just such a hazard. Like even if you miss a little tiny bit, it's a fire hazard, so you just can't do it. So,
wow. Okay.
I know. So there goes the oven.
Okay. In the market for a new oven.
Yes. And then also, meanwhile, our fridge, it always water pools on the bottom of our fridge, like all the time. And we are always like chiseling it out because it turns into ice. We're chiseling it out. And so we finally called a guy for that too. Thankfully, we do have this plan. We have like this maintenance plan. So we basically pay for things. We pay monthly, and then they come out whenever we need them to.
Yeah, nice.
So anyway, he came out, and he actually had to like unclog this tube that goes into our fridge for water. So anyway, he said, just so you know, all these fridges, these new fridges, these new fancy fridges, this always happens to them.
Okay.
So, this tube always just gets clogged up, and it, causes problems. So he said, I'll probably be out here in 6 more months. Do this again. So I know. So
this is
so fun. Home
is
ownership.
that a certain brand of fridges?
Well, this one is GE, and he said this one specifically, this model is a sure problem. But he said all of them. He said Samsung is the hardest to work on too. He said this happens to Samsung all the time, but it's harder to get in there and fix it. So he said, if you're replace this, maybe just don't do Samsung for this kind of fridge. I mean, who knows about all the other appliances? But like, he's just saying for this specific kind of fridge, I would,
Wow.
And he said, just get a less fancy fridge next time, and you won't have a problem.
But don't you want the water in your fridge?
Yeah.
I mean,
but I don't think it's that. It's like all these other features, which are, he said people are over engineering fridges. They're like making it too fancy inside, and you don't even need that. You don't need all the stuff.
So we need to calm down about the fridges.
Calm down about your fancy fridges.
Wow.
I'm saying that to myself too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I know it. So big
So
week
exciting.
for us. Home ownership.
I'm so glad I'm not dealing with that right now.
Yeah. I'm glad you aren't either.
Yeah.
So I can just complain about it to you.
Yeah. Well, it's a good warning.
Oh,
it's a good warning for me. Yeah.
It's just funny how like things this happen. Sometimes, they come all together. These things.
Yeah.
You're like,
for sure.
Wow. All right.
Okay. So we are going to do a monthly thing. It's going to be similar to what we did this summer when we did what did we even call that? Summer series?
Summer check-in series? I don't know. It's been so long.
It's been so long. It's like a month ago. I cannot remember. We called it something fancy. Something summer series. Mm-hmm. And where we just checked in about what's going well, what needs tweaking. We did a self-care check-in and then a listener question. Yes. We like doing that so much that we are going to do that once a month. So near the end of every month.
Yep. Exactly.
So this is our September check-in.
Yes. So why don't we get started? Angela, do you want to start with what's going well for you?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So what's going well for us is I made a commitment this year, which I talked about in a couple episodes ago about where we make it fun.
Yeah.
I made a commitment this year that in the afternoons we are going to I'm call it adventuring, but that's maybe a little strong. We're going to get out of the house.
Good for you.
But for me, that's an adventure because I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
So it's a big adventure. And I've always, I'm a homebody. I prefer staying home.
Yeah.
Just always have.
Mm-hmm.
So I always leaned that way. I've always leaned that way. But, I have kids who aren't all like me.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy getting out.
Yeah.
I do. So I made a commitment this year that we are going to get out in the afternoons. So we left our schedule mostly open in the afternoons, and we're going to do something, whether it's go for a walk, go to a movie on Tuesdays, go to a dog park, maybe in the winter we'll go to an indoor pool or something.
Yeah.
But we are going to get out. I'm not going to say every afternoon because, we have some stuff going on.
For sure.
We're going to do our adventure call one afternoon a week.
Mm-hmm.
We always record one afternoon a week.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other afternoons, I can generally figure out how to get out. So.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
So
I think
that's
such a
going
great
well.
goal.
And I'm liking it.
Good. That's awesome.
I'm enjoying it.
You're enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it. Now, I think part of it is I'm feeling better, like physically.
Yes.
I, for the past couple of years, had not been feeling good. And so I always needed to lay down and rest.
Yep.
Which, if you're in that season, you need to lay down and
rest.
Well,
and I also feel like the older our kids get, maybe, this is just a guess, that maybe we don't need to do that as much.
Oh, I don't need as much rest physically as I did.
Because your kids are getting older, right?
Yeah, because I'm taking little rests throughout the day. Or, I don't know. My body is not exerting so much physical.
Exactly. And you're probably getting better sleep at night too.
Yeah.
As your kids get older. So I think that makes a huge difference.
It does. So I feel like I have energy and I want to get out during the day or get out in the afternoon. So
that's so great.
That is what we're doing. And I'm excited. And I have a little notes app. Because sometimes I'll be like, we need to get out and I don't know what to do.
Yes.
But I have a list. My kids love museums. I've never been a museum person. Mm-hmm. I don't love a museum, but my kids do.
Yeah.
So I am making the effort. We are going to do that.
Good for you. I am so impressed because I know that is not your go-to thing to do normally.
No. I'd rather say everybody rest for 2 hours.
Yep. I mean, I certainly have been doing that too. I mean, even as an extrovert, I don't mind a 2-hour rest.
Oh, I know.
I'll always take a 2-hour rest if available.
Yeah.
But
actually, now that I think about it, we've always had a rest time in the afternoon. This is our first year that we aren't. And so
do you not have any, do you have a time when you're everybody needs to go to their own?
I would say prior to our afternoon adventure, we do deer time, which is everybody reads on their own.
Yeah.
So that's reading. For me, that's a rest a little bit,
Okay.
Because I read. When we come home, so let's say we get home at 4 or 5, then everybody usually goes to their screens.
Okay.
I am fine.
Totally fine. Because by that time,
by that time,
you need a break.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So
I love this.
Oh,
I might have to.
Well, you're way better at this naturally than I am.
Yeah, but I would like to be more intentional about it, I think.
Yeah.
Because there's so many great places to go.
Oh, yeah, so for sure.
Even just having a list would help me probably.
Yeah, yeah.
And I do think if I don't have it as an intention, like a plan to get out, I do tend to say, let's just have some quiet time. I just,
Yeah.
Yeah. Something has to change right now.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. So what's going well with you, Maren?
Okay. So just yesterday, something great happened.
Wow. Let's hear it.
Apple came out with their new software update. For iPads. And it's iOS 12. Okay, does not seem like that big of a deal, right?
Okay.
No. It's a huge deal.
Okay,
it has a little thing called, I don't know what it's called, time management or something.
Okay.
And you can control how much time your child is on games or anything. I mean, anything on their iPad. So, and it's all built in now to the operating system.
Yeah.
So I know there have been lots of other apps in the past that have tried to do this well.
Yeah.
We've had also Circle in the past, which is just a filter you put on your Wi-Fi.
Yep.
And so you can control everybody's devices. It just nothing has worked for us very well.
Right.
This is what I've been praying for so long. I mean, seriously.
What took them so long?
I don't know. Coming up with all the other things. They've, inventing everything else, probably.
Yeah,
I don't know. But
this is awesome. So
no,
I didn't
so
notice
awesome.
this. We have 2 iPads. I did not notice. It's just like an update.
It's an
that
update.
You need a system
Seems
update.
like just a normal update.
Okay.
But then when you go into settings, here it is. It's called screen time. This is called screen time.
Perfect.
Yep. And if you are connected with your kids via iCloud, and I don't know if I could go through that right now, but if I have in here, it says my family. It says each person. So I can go into each one of my kids and any device they own that's on the iCloud gets controlled now. And I can control downtime. So we control what time everything turns off at night and can turn back on in the morning. We have app limits now. We have you can also say, well, these certain apps can always be open. Keep these certain apps always open. Like, I put on a few educational apps always open.
Yeah.
Or Voxer, because I want them to be able to Vox me.
Yeah.
If I'm not near them. So those kind of things are always going to be open for them. And then lots of content and privacy restrictions, like much more than they've ever had before.
Like even on the internet.
Yes. On iTunes, on all the apps, you can restrict the apps.
Nice.
Yeah, so many things. There are so many things you can control now. And it's the missing link that has been, because I've always felt very paranoid that people are sneaking time when they're not supposed to be sneaking time. And I just don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm so happy.
Yeah.
It's a good day for me.
Okay. Yeah, this is a great day.
Yeah.
This is a great day. So, is it only for an iPad? Not like an iPod Touch?
Anything that's on the iCloud. So iPod Touch.
Oh.
Yep. Anything.
Oh.
Yep. I know. Anything that they're signed into,
Yeah.
Yep. So if they have an iCloud account and they're signed into that device, then you get to control it.
So are there updates on their iPod Touches then too? Oh, okay.
You need to update. Last night, Sean and I had all the devices on our bed. This is what we did after the kids went to bed. Super fun. We just updated everybody's devices and then changed all the settings. It took a while, but wow. I know. And then you get a report. You can look and see what apps they used all day and how much time they were on each app.
That.
I know.
Maybe I should do this without telling them. Because I know my kids sneak too.
Oh yeah. I mean,
they sneak them. Yeah,
I would.
I sneak mine, so
yeah,
I understand.
Yeah, I get it. So
wow,
this is just
awesome.
a very new thing that's going well for me. So I will keep you updated though as to how it goes. But it's just it's just this thing I've been waiting for so long. So
yes,
I'm so happy.
That's exciting. Okay.
Yep. All right, Angela, what needs tweaking for you?
Okay. Well, speaking of devices and how I sneak mine. Okay, so what I need to tweak is I am going to try really hard, and I want you all to hold me accountable and ask me how it's going. Okay. I would like to try to not look at my phone in the morning. Because what happens, or not look at my phone first thing in the morning.
Yes.
Because what happens is I just want to check one thing. Like, I don't know, did I get any texts overnight or, any DMs or anything overnight?
Yeah.
And then before you know it, like an hour's gone by.
Yeah. I know.
Because there's so much interesting stuff out there.
I know it.
So, and I don't want to start my day like that. Because I want to start my day when I get in the habit of starting my day with something else, like a walk or like reading a book or something like that, I just feel so much better.
Yeah.
And I feel like I am doing, I don't want to say productive. I'm doing something good with my time versus unhealthy with my time.
Right.
So what I've been doing actually is not having my phone in the bedroom, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using an old-fashioned alarm clock.
Oh, nice. Good job.
Well, it's okay. It's really loud.
What do
If
you
anybody,
mean? The alarm is loud, or
yeah, the
actual-
alarm. If I have to wake up.
Oh, do you set an alarm?
Well, if I'm going to Pilates in the morning,
Oh, okay.
I do.
Okay.
But I like the phone because you can turn it down.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
so it's just like somebody needs to make an alarm clock that you can adjust the volume on. If anybody knows of one, let me know.
Okay. Did you ever see? Okay, we're in this sort of awesome hangout.
Yeah.
Somebody just asked about this in there.
Oh, really?
Yes, and Kelly
Okay.
at Lovewell. what's
Kelly Gordon.
Kelly Gordon? Yes, Kelly Gordon. She posted about this alarm clock that she uses that gently wakes you up in the morning.
Oh,
and
okay.
it looks like a retro clock. It's analog. It's a new clock, but like it's really, they wanted to make it
Looks cool.
old. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it will like slowly get brighter when you set the time.
I need to get that.
Yeah. It's from LL Bean.
Oh, wow. You know a lot about this.
I looked it up because I was like, that sounds like what everybody should have. If you want an alarm clock, that seems like the one. Because we haven't had an alarm clock in our bedroom for so long because of the brightness.
Oh, yeah.
I hate bright alarm clocks.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
That is the other thing is like I have to turn it away from me.
Yeah.
Like so it faces the wall because I don't want the brightness to show.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I am definitely checking that out because that sounds perfect for me because right now I've been dealing with the loud alarm clock. So anyway, I haven't been putting my phone in my bed at night, and like when I go to bed at like let's say 9 o'clock, it's in the kitchen like on the charger.
Yeah, great.
Which I'm good with that, but then when I get out of bed, I'm like, I'm just gonna check my phone quick, and then oops, there goes an hour.
Oh,
so I don't want to do that. That needs tweaking in my life. I need to like. I don't know what my rule needs to be, but like either go for a walk or read something or say like don't check anything till after 9 or something. I need something.
Yeah. You got to think of some kind of rule.
I got to give myself a rule that I need to follow. So I'd love to hear what anybody else does.
Yes. Me too.
Yeah. Okay. What needs tweaking for you, Maren?
All right. For me, I broke my own rule, which is I have been micromanaging my kids this week, and it is not fun. It's not fun for me. It's really not fun for my kids.
Yeah.
And I just it needs to be. It's more than a tweak. It needs to be like cut off, done. So
okay, what do you mean? Like, I mean, I know what micromanaging is, but I mean, don't we have to do that sometimes with our kids?
I want to just do less of it. I think what happens is I start micromanaging when I'm like in a bad place. Like think about it. Okay, so if you know the Enneagram at all, I am a 7. I'm an Enneagram 7, and in the Enneagram, you can you go to a different number when you're like in health, and then you also go to this other number when you're under stress or whatever, or in an unhealthy place maybe. I go to a 1 in stress. And not the good parts of a 1, like, the maybe not best parts of a 1, which is, trying to get things perfect and making sure everybody does everything the right way. And it's not fun for anybody.
Right.
So what that looks like, I think for me is, I think I use my 7, my Enneagram 7, where I'm like not planning super perfectly, but then halfway through the day I kind of freak out and I'm like, everybody needs to do all the things right now. And then I make a big list and I make sure everybody's doing productive things. And then it's like this intense, it's coming out of like fear and more out of like feeling not good. Like it's coming from this fear, this like, I don't have a lot of self-confidence at this point in my, so it's coming, and I'm trying to just not drown, basically. Like, I want to just get to the top of water so I can breathe, right? So instead, what I need to do is approach the day from abundance, from like a place of love and trust that my kids are learning, and I can have some things planned ahead of time. That'd be great, Maren, telling this to myself. If I have some things planned ahead of time and give my kids the chance to work that out and do those things instead of me pounding on them to do them, it just makes it a much more pleasant experience. And then also as a 7, I need to do more things like you were just talking about. Like, we need to go out and have fun more, and we need to have adventures, and I need to be more spontaneous because that's who I am as a person. Yeah. Not everybody has to be this way, but I do, because that's how I function, and my kids do too. They really do. Right. And so if we feel like taking a break and, going to get ice cream or something, we just should sometimes. Not all the time, but I mean, just sometimes we should just do fun, exciting things. Right. So I just need to like lean into that a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that.
I think yeah, go ahead.
I feel like you need to give yourself a little bit of grace.
No, you're right.
Because, I mean, you are at home with 4 kids all day long.
Right. You're right.
And so sometimes, and they're not always going to, it's not always going to come from within for them.
Right. There's always going to be some, dissonance there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're right. But I think if I come from a place of having that self-confidence and being like, I know this is good. It doesn't come across as, a tight grip.
Right.
Instead, it's just like, I know this is good. We're going to do it. And I'm guiding you through it. Instead of like, you are doing it, or the consequences are just going to start. That is just not where we want to be.
Right. So it's more of like how you do it, not that you're doing it.
Yeah. And I think.
Or how you approach it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and when I get that way, the micromanagement comes in where I'm like, where are you now? What are you doing now? What's happening now? And I'm just like watching every move all the time. And with 4 kids, it's just not sustainable either. It's just not sustainable. Yeah. Nobody needs that in their life.
No. Right. So, right.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our self-care check-in, Angela. How are you doing? Taking care of yourself.
I'm doing okay. We haven't talked about this in a couple months.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm doing okay. I can always do better. And like, I don't think I'm not at the top of my game self-care wise.
Well, and
but remember, I'm not at the very bottom either.
And this isn't like an evaluation. It's more like, I don't want we should not feel like we're getting evaluated here.
No,
we're just like checking in to say, are you, let's take care of ourselves.
Are you doing this?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Okay. I'm still doing Pilates.
Good for
2
you.
mornings a week. And if I don't do that, I'm going for a walk.
Good for you.
So
the other days
you're going for a walk. Or sometimes in the afternoon too. Wow. I don't know. It's getting darker. It's darker now in the mornings. So I'm going to have to adjust a little bit.
Right.
But I would like to go for a walk every day. But I'm just not doing that.
Yeah.
So that's where I feel like I could get a little bit better. I feel like I need to get outside and do some sort of something every day.
Oh, outside is so good.
I know. And I know you need that too.
I do.
Yeah. So I feel like I need that. I am really good at, here's what I'm good at. I'm really good at taking a bath every night.
Good for you. Oh my gosh.
Going to bed early. I'm usually in bed around 9.
That is amazing.
And I want to say,
are your kids in bed at 9?
Well, no.
Okay.
I want to say that's mostly because of my husband.
Yeah,
Because
he goes to bed early.
he goes to bed early
Yeah.
and he wants me to go to bed early. And I kind of resisted it for a while and was like kind of resentful.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, oh, no, this is probably
Yeah.
a good thing.
Yeah.
I kind of like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Like everything goes better for me when I go to bed earlier.
Yes.
So, I mean, yeah. So like last night it was like 8:30.
That is amazing.
I know. Sometimes it's 9:30, whatever. But I'm pretty good at like taking the bath sometime at night, which gets me tired or, like winds me down.
Right.
I put Epsom salts in it, so that's good for like my body and
sure.
detoxing and all that. And then going to bed at a decent hour. So that's pretty good. That's going well. I'm not reading as much as I wanted to.
Yeah.
This summer I wanted to do this summer I did do nonfiction in the morning.
Yeah, that's right.
I haven't been doing that. Once I finished a nonfiction book, I just didn't pick up another one. So I need to do that because I have a stack of nonfiction I would like to read.
Always.
Yeah. So I would like to get back to doing that in the morning.
Yeah. I think it's hard with just transitioning from summer to fall, even
Yeah.
though it's like it seems like it should be totally doable. Just the change can be tricky.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, we're starting school in the morning. So in the summer, I kind of had, I don't want to say endless time, but I kind of did in the morning to do,
right.
My morning routine could go longer. And now I need to cut it off at some point. So anyway, I'm not reading as much as I would like to.
Right.
So I'd like to do that more. Even if I got to tell myself, even if it's just 5 minutes.
You're right.
And if I don't look at my phone, I surely have time.
Definitely. Those two kind of go together.
They kind of do.
Yeah, for sure.
So I could make this work.
Okay. Good for you.
Yeah.
We'll check in next time. We'll ask you.
Yeah, for sure. Ask me. How about you? How's your self-care going?
Okay. So remember, I was thinking about joining Pilates.
Yes.
And then I also found this new doctor, right?
Yeah.
Who feel like she really gets me. And when I told her, I don't know if I can do Pilates because it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
And she, so she's really been counseling me what I should be doing, which is what I need. That's awesome. It's totally what I need. So I feel like she really gets me, and she's like, "You're just an intense person. You need to do what you want to do because then," and she's thankfully she also is like learning my body too, and is telling me your body can handle whatever you want to do right now.
Because so just maybe give everybody a little bit of background.
Oh, yeah.
You like to do intense exercise.
I do. I like to do intense exercise. I'm a little scared. I'm very scared to do it now because of 3 years ago, I was in a car accident. Not even a bad car accident, but it just affected my neck so badly. I got I had a herniated disc, and and it has never healed. Like it just has never healed. So I am been finding lots of different doctors, and I feel like this one is just helping me out a lot with just insight into how I personally can be part of my own healing.
Right. Yeah, and so you kind of thought Pilates would be good for you. And I think it would be. It would be.
Oh, yes, totally.
But you were nervous about it because you need something super intense.
Yeah, I mean,
more intense than Pilates.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I just need to have more fun. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
So, so finally just this week, she kind of just gave me the all clear to like just go do, for a while she was like, if you want to run a little bit this week, try that. And I did. And it felt great. And then the next week she was like, try a little more. And I did a little more running. And then, just this past week, she said, I just want you to do whatever you want to do this week. You can just,
nice.
She said something like, if you get hurt doing something, I will help fix you. Just don't worry about it. Just do what you want to do. So,
wow.
It's so encouraging and so exciting to me.
Yeah.
So
now, what are you gonna do?
Now I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm like, I don't even know anymore. What do I, what do I do? So I've been looking into joining the YMCA because I know my kids are taking swimming lessons there, and there's lots of opportunities for all of us to spend time at the Y this winter. So that might be an option for me. There's lots of amazing classes, and maybe that's just what I need right now. Right. I still really like to be outside.
Yeah.
There is I also looked into this place it's called No Quit Fit. And I'm wondering if anybody else knows about this. But there's a local one here in my city. And basically it's a fitness class outside. They have outside fitness classes. It's always outside. And it's at a park right down the road from my house, which is very intriguing to me. And, so it'd be easy to get to. The only thing is they're like really early in the morning. They're like 5:30 in the morning. So not super.
I feel like I could do that.
Yeah.
So when it's winter.
I don't know. I do not know.
See, I would be interested in something like that if they were like, today we're going snowshoeing.
Yeah.
Today we're going to go, I don't know.
Yeah.
Skiing or hiking or whatever. Like taking advantage of the winter.
Right. Yeah, and you can pay per class too. So it's like you can have a membership, I think, but also you can just decide to pay per class. So I'm thinking about doing maybe once a week or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, and then I'm just wondering if anybody else knows about these things. I would love some DMs about Aptive. There's an app called Aptive.
Yes, I've heard of it.
And then also Bar 3.
Okay.
So those are two apps that I'm really interested in. They both have free trials, so I'm gonna check them out and I'll let you know. But I'd love input from anybody who has done those.
Sure.
So yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we move on to our listener question?
Yes. All right, we got this great question. I plan to homeschool, but am expecting twins sometime in October, so I want to keep my expectations really low. To a fault, I am good at saying no to all things, but I do feel with having a 5.5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old, I should have a tiny bit of structure and learning for all our sanity. I have nature walks, read aloud time, and crafting/learning games on my schedule for my mom to do with the older kids in the early weeks of twin chaos. Anything else you would add? So I think this is a great question, and I think it's a very common question.
Well, yeah, and you've had the twin chaos.
I've had the twin chaos. I get it.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I think she's got a lot of great things in place.
Yeah.
Saying no, first of all, to lots of things. Good for you.
Yep.
Good for you. Also the things that she did schedule for her mom to do. So key. Way to go.
Amazing.
You've already planned that. I'm so proud. Nature walks, read aloud time, crafting, and learning games. I mean, those are so wonderful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, looking back, I would say that's plenty. That's good. Now, I know that if she is thinking she wants more structure, then she probably needs more structure, right? I mean,
maybe. I mean, I feel like this is hard for me a little bit because I feel like everybody's personality is so different.
Mm-hmm.
When I had kids that young, I didn't schedule anything. Like I didn't have any structure.
Yeah.
And that was because, well, I don't want to say I didn't have any structure. I didn't do any like learning type time.
Right. You didn't have goals for them to learn anything or
no. Yeah. And I think that's just my personality. So I get it that some people feel like they need that. The things that I focused on were more of a routine.
Yes.
And we had the similar routine every day. Like we get up and we do these 5 things.
Right.
And then we usually could do one thing. Like I could handle one outing or activity or friend coming over or whatever it was. I could handle one thing.
Yep.
And then it was get ready for lunch and have lunch.
Yeah.
And then get ready for rest time. And then everybody has rest time.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that was the approach I took was more of like figuring out the routine and then adding in just one different thing every day. Yes.
I think that's such great advice. I also think for the routine, and that is part of your structure, as you know, with a 5.5-year 5.5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old, having a routine is part of learning. I mean, that's just, that is a learning goal, right? And I always had a piece of paper or something, poster on the wall somewhere easy for them to see, and it would just be pictures of what to do in the morning.
Yes.
So, make bed, brush teeth, get dressed, eat breakfast, whatever.
Breakfast.
So, and just learning to go through those steps is a great skill to learn at 5.5 and 2.5.
Right. And this listener sounds like she probably already is doing something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe, probably, but if you're not, that would be where I would start.
Yeah. Some other things that I thought of was like, if you want to add more, just maybe some more routines or things that you want to do during the day with your kids, they could help with getting ready for lunch. And maybe it's just pulling out the plastic plates and cups from a shelf that they can reach and put them on the table every day.
Yeah. Putting the stuff down low.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah.
Like if you can.
Right.
That I didn't always do that. I learned that kind of late. But that always worked really well. Like having the stuff down low so they can reach it and take care of it.
Yes, exactly. And anything they can do in the kitchen is just always so exciting. Washing the strawberries or, just anything like that is they feel, I think kids feel such a sense of accomplishment and ownership. Right. And like they're contributing to the family. I do remember when my twins were born, it was really important for me to show my older daughter, that she was, an important part of the family. Because it's very easy for, when you have twins to, I mean, it's just consuming. It's all consuming.
For sure. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I would also say, like, lower your expectations.
Yes.
Always lower your expectations, because you don't know what it's going to be like when you have those babies.
Yep.
I mean, you don't know. So maybe you're not able to do anything.
Yep.
Like you want to do with your older kids, and that's okay.
Yes.
I'm glad that you have your mom coming.
Me too. I'm so happy for you.
I hope it's for a while. Yes. Or I hope you have other people too.
Yes.
But I would lower those expectations, but maybe have some things in place, like kind of like what I do now, where like I've lowered my expectations academically.
Yeah.
But then I have some things that we can do if we need things. What did I call that? Like, maybe do these things. If you have time, do these things. If you need something to do these things. Yep. Maybe have some things in mind like that, but don't expect that you'll do them.
Yes, exactly.
Because your 5.5 and 2.5-year-old are going through a huge learning experience having those twins.
Yes, exactly. And I would say focus on making those connections, because you are building the foundation for their lives. Yep. Connection is the best way to do that. So, and also just remember, having a structure and plan should only happen if it's good for you or for your kids. It's not the thing that has to be there no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
And also just remember, our kids were born to learn. So even if nothing you planned or any of the structures you've set up have worked that day, your kids have still learned a lot.
Yeah.
And, just because your plan for that day didn't happen, that doesn't mean it was a waste.
No, just having those babies, that's they're learning so much just watching everything. Totally. They are learning a ton. Totally. I remember when my oldest was a baby. She was maybe like 8-9 months or something like that. I remember feeling guilty if I had to take her to the grocery store. Like, if we had to go grocery shopping and I had to bring her with, I felt guilty until my dad said to me one day, like, Angela, that's a whole new learning experience for her. Yeah,
totally.
She's looking around at all these other things. That's awesome. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. I only thought that if I was, like, on the floor playing with her or reading to her or whatever, that those were the only learning experiences.
And then also remember, if you're too tired to read for your kids,
oh, yeah,
it's okay. Sometimes we feel like failures that we can't even do the like something that's seemingly so easy.
So basic. Every parent reads to their kids.
I'm too tired. It's okay. Put in an audiobook.
It's totally fine.
Put in a video. It's okay.
I don't even think, like, it's hard for me to remember, but I feel like our reading time was when my husband was home.
Yeah.
And then on the other times of the day, if somebody brought me a book, I read it, but I never said, okay, and now we're going to do reading time.
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't.
Yeah.
That was like before bedtime that we did that.
Yeah, and I just remember, I mean, I know you've said this before too, but there was a time when I was so tired that anybody even brought me a book, I'd be like, oh gosh, here we go. I gotta do this. I cannot fall asleep reading this book. I just,
I know. And then you try and skip the pages and they know.
Yes.
Yep. If you're interested in hearing more about this, we did talk about this in Where We Confess Our Biggest Homeschool Mistake.
Yeah.
Not sure what episode that was.
Yeah.
It was this late spring probably time. So
that was a good
20 or so ago. So that we talked about like early learning in that episode. So.
Yep. That was a good one. Really good.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to what we're loving this week.
Yes. All right. Angela, what are you loving this week?
Okay, I'm loving a podcast, which I can't believe I haven't talked about it.
Oh, great.
It's called Slow Burn.
Oh, wow.
Have you heard of
Nope.
it? You haven't?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is a podcast that's in seasons. So I'm listening to season 2 right now.
Great. I love seasons.
Me too. We don't do that because we record weekly,
Yeah.
but I like when it's a bingeable podcast.
Yeah. Great.
Which I like that. So it's like one story told over like 10 episodes.
Yes, that's what I mean by when I think of seasons, I think, oh yeah, this is like a theme.
Yeah,
great.
A theme, right? Yes. So this is all about season 2 is all about the Bill Clinton presidency.
Oh wow.
And the scandals.
Oh my gosh,
the scandal.
I'm like downloading it right now.
Okay. So what's interesting is I'm like, oh, already? Like that's a historical thing we can talk about already.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I am getting older, so I guess like this is something we can talk about. The first season was about Nixon and the scandal.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
and
I cannot wait.
I didn't listen to all of it. I only listened to the first episode or two and then I dropped it. I don't know why. Now I'm going to go back and listen to Nixon. But this is about Bill Clinton. So we were like, 20 or something when he was president.
Yep.
Around that age. And so I wasn't like that informed.
No.
I mean, I did read the newspaper.
Yeah.
So I knew like the headlines.
Yeah.
And
we had a lot of other important things going on in our lives.
I knew kind of what was going on.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. I mean, I knew what happened. But this goes into all the details, interviews some key people, and it's really fascinating. It is really fascinating.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Yeah.
So excited.
So I am on episode 6 is done. I feel like they said there's going to be 8. So soon it's going to be done and you can just binge the whole thing.
I can't.
But you could start now
Maybe
too.
I have to wait. Well, I could do the Nixon one now.
You could do the Nixon one now.
Yeah.
Which is also, I mean.
That's another one that like I feel like I know. It's still it's like history to me, Yeah.
Because
it was long enough ago that it just feels like history to me.
Oh yeah, because it was before you were born.
Yeah.
So like but you just have heard about it.
Not that much though. Not that far before I was born. But it's just enough so it feels like history.
Yeah,
just
for
enough.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It's just I don't know, learning about the current-ish presidents is just informing like where we are today,
It totally is.
It's just super interesting. Yep. So I'm loving that.
Ooh, I can't wait.
What are you loving this week?
Okay, I'm loving a hair product.
Oh,
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Let's hear it.
Which I'm sure you're shocked at because I don't really do my hair.
I know.
Normally.
No, I mean,
yeah.
You don't use hair products.
I'm very low maintenance.
Yeah.
So I last time I got my hair cut, it was, this lady asked me, do you do any, what products do you use in your hair? As usual, I said nothing. And she said, oh, I get it. She was so down to earth. So amazing. Anyway, I love her. She's so great. I'm going to go back to her.
Okay.
But she also said, because I have like this very fine, thin hair, And I said, I really can't use product in my hair. It just weighs it down. And it's just so difficult for me to put anything in my hair. It's counterproductive. She said, I have the perfect thing for you. I know. She's like, I'm not trying to sell this to you, but I'm just saying this is going to be awesome. It's going to be revolutionary for you. And it is. She's right. It's a product called Fatboy Spray Putty. So I don't know. It's like, she said, it's kind of like the goop you put in your hands. You'd normally put it in your hands and put it through your hair. Yeah. But this is in a spray form. So it's just like a very fine mist. And you put it in your hair and it does the same thing. Gives you a little volume, a little stickiness, you know? Yeah. Because I told her, I want a haircut that doesn't look like I just got a clean haircut. I want it to look a little messy. I want it to look a little chunky maybe. Yeah. And she said, this is what you need then. Because you can't. Nice. Because my hair just falls. It just looks flat. It's going to look like you just got a haircut like all the time because it just lays flat, right? But you put this stuff in and it's just gives it a little messiness, little volume. And
when you started describing it, I did remember in Chicago you breaking out some spray.
Yeah, that was it.
And I was kind of surprised, and I don't know why I didn't say anything. I had too many other things on my mind to say anything. But yeah,
this is it.
I saw you spraying your hair. Wow. Yeah. And so you spray it kind of in the back.
Yeah, just at the root, kind of.
Like the root.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Or actually, not really just at the root though, because you know if you get it all over, it makes your ends look also a little chunky too. I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to explain that, but
PC.
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
I do. That's awesome. Yeah. So then does it feel sticky the next day too?
No, that's the other great thing. Like it doesn't, because I normally would have to wash my hair within like 12 hours of putting any product in my hair. And this can just, I can continue on my regular washing schedule, which is like every other day, maybe. Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah. So it's just working out all around for me.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Yes. We loved having you. And you can find us on social media. We'd love it if you followed us on Facebook. We're at Homeschool Unrefined. We also have a closed group on Facebook. We'd love to have you join. It's called Unrefined Homeschoolers. We're also on Instagram. Instagram is kind of our favorite.
It is.
Right?
Our preferred social media.
Right. Platform. Besides our Facebook group. We like that.
We really do like that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, on Instagram, we are at Homeschool Unrefined. You can find us there. And we have a website, homeschoolunrefined.com, where you can find links to everything that we talked about.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening.
Homeschool Unrefined is created and produced by Maren Gorse and Angela Sizer. Ethan Miller is our editor, and Amanda Ginn is our VP of all the important things.